Wow, that was quite the introduction, Danielle. I thought for a moment I was at the wrong convocation, but I guess not. But thank you very much, Principal LaBelle-Grenier, esteemed faculty, parents, and most importantly, all of you graduates. This is really, really, really something. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est pour moi un immense honneur et un privilège de recevoir cette distinction et j'en suis profondément reconnaissant. Je suis particulièrement heureux de m'adresser à vous, chers diplômés, en cette journée si importante. Permettez-moi de vous offrir mes plus sincères félicitations et de vous souhaiter beaucoup de succès dans les années à venir. That comes from, with apologies for my Ontario high school French learned back in the 60s. And one thing I can be grateful for is, I just want to acknowledge, first of all, Danielle for being such a great partner in our capital campaign and all the great work he's doing as Chancellor. Danielle, you're the man. And I also wanted to acknowledge Jackie Scott, whom I've worked for many years. She is a true professional in the world of philanthropy. And the third person is my brother Scott, sitting here, former Chancellor. And I can be grateful that he's not the Chancellor today. The reason being that I'm absolutely certain that if he was, he would have made me get down on my knees to receive this degree. There are limits to what you have to do for an older brother. So thinking back to almost exactly 55 years ago to the day when I graduated from Bishop's, the enduring memory that I have is that I had no idea what to do with myself. I've been so immersed in campus and school life for all these years. And there may be many of you in the crowd today who also really not sure what you're going to do. Others perhaps have a clear plan, maybe even a job on Monday. It's hard to imagine, but I'm sure it's possible. In any case, there's going to be a lot of trial and error as you establish your goals going forward. And today I would like to plant a seed. As you leave this chapter and begin the next one, I would encourage you to add one more goal to your list, and that is to engage in philanthropy and to volunteer. I'm not necessarily talking about those of you who will make a career in the voluntary sector, although that would be a wonderful choice. It's really more the rest of you who will be involved in your careers and your lives and could include this as an extracurricular activity. As volunteering is all about giving of yourself, of your time, and of your resources. Years ago, when I was deeply involved in St. Michael's Hospital, as Danielle mentioned, I was getting pretty happy with my contribution, feeling kind of chuffed about it, and possibly even altruistic. Maybe my ego was getting a little bit ahead of me there, and I recall that my son Nicholas said to me something that really stopped me dead in my tracks. He said, "There is no such thing as altruism. There's always something in it for you." And that was pretty impressive. By the way, Nick, great to have you here supporting the old man and the rest of the family. But he's right. There is a ton of fulfillment from involvement in philanthropy. And yes, altruism at the same time. But beyond fulfillment, there are real and tangible benefits. And that's what I'd like all of you to think about as you go forward. I know this from experience. I kind of fell into it. In fact, about 40 years ago, I was invited to a telethon for my school. And we were down at a securities firm in downtown Toronto with a bank of telephones, 40 of us, and we started dialing for dollars, asking for $50, $100 from our classmates. And frankly, I went kind of crazy. I guess it was my competitive and sales background that really got me going. I like to be on the forward line, scoring goals. And I was completely hooked. I never really looked back. And it kind of surprised me that people would say, I hate fundraising. I hear it all the time. And I kind of find it hard to understand. I mean, you develop a program, you work with a team of volunteers to come up with an attractive product, like even working on the Bishop's Capital campaign, trying to describe it. You go out and talk to people who are devoted to bishops. You get them to part with your money, their money, and the university or the charity you're working for is absolutely thrilled. You get the deal. I mean, what's not to like about all of that? But I realize I'm a bit of a freak in this category. But the point I really want to make is that it's not truly about fundraising. It's about the cause that you're working for, building things, building programs, projects, saving lives, whatever it is that you end up in. And that's what is really inspiring, especially if you tell the story with enthusiasm and with conviction. Bishops is the perfect example. The building we're in right now, the Denver gym, Wally Denver, the philanthropist who donated money to do it, the Jane and Eric Molson Arena, the Library and Learning Commons, all the scholarships and bursaries that provide over $2 million a year in financial support to the university. All of that built with either largely because of or solely because of philanthropists and a team of volunteers, not just fundraisers, to make it happen. And I've had the privilege of working for the hospital, as we've said, the homeless, in the arts, and in various sports organizations. And I've seen it over and over again, such a tremendous sense of accomplishment and achievement with the volunteers that I've worked with. And this is why I think there's so much to be gained by your involvement. And today you're going to leave your structured life, which you've had for years at school and at university, and scatter here, there, and everywhere. Your friends will disperse. New cities, perhaps even different countries, a different work environment. And you may find it necessary to build a new sense of community wherever you are. My experience is that there's almost no better way of building a circle of friends than working in a team for charity. You have a common goal, and it's very powerful. So that's really why I want you to think about it. And the greatest asset you'll develop are your relationships. And that's something that not even AI can replace. And the key thing is that you're not doing it for yourself. You're not getting paid. There's no personal gain. And it's curious in life how the things that mean the most of us, there's no money involved in it for you. And that's something that really is inspiring. And working in philanthropy, you build a lot of trust and confidence. It's an objective activity, again, not for yourself. Tremendous cooperation, positivity. It's a wonderful environment. You can hone your leadership skills, and you'll find that all those circle of friends who see you working in this environment will want to deal with you in the rest of your life, whether it's in business or whatever else you're doing. It becomes a virtuous circle, and that makes it worthwhile right there. I mean, the opportunities are endless. You could work in wildlife, conservation, international aid, community causes you can't even imagine today. And, of course, bishops. There's lots to do here for volunteers, and it's really just a wonderful thing, including being on the board if it ever came to that. And it all speaks to the timeless biblical principle, to whom much is given, much is expected. And that's a quote that's been used over and over again by people like John F. Kennedy, in fact, at a commencement address in the US, and even by Spider-Man. So it's important to find what resonates with you and where you can apply your skills and talents. And believe me, there are so many opportunities to do that. Perhaps you're not ready today. That's understandable. You're trying to build your life, your career, and maybe it's just something, okay, I'll get to that later. I get it. I didn't do anything for 10 years after I left Bishops in this field. But I really want to encourage you to keep it in mind. And if you're deciding whether to get involved as a volunteer, do it early. You won't regret it. You'll find your niche, and believe me, it will add a lot of texture and color and another dimension to your life. So I would like to end my remarks with a quote and a prediction. The great Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." Talk about pithy and profound. He could always put a fine point on it and basically summed up everything I've said today. And my final word is a prediction that if you get involved in a cause or an organization and it resonates with you and you make a contribution, that will end up being the most rewarding thing you ever do. So good luck, my fellow grads. Bonne chance. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.